Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the number 15 review of series number 9. And I'm going to check that, and I am correct. It is the number 15 review of series number 9. Series number 9 is premium pouches. So we are going to be looking at the Wintergreen from Skoal, the classic Wintergreen. I 2 days ago did the extra Wintergreen. Now it is the classic's turn. So looking at the packaging, you have a it's a forest green background. It's very slightly lighter in the middle and then going darker towards the outside. Again, and I believe this might be what Jimmy was talking about, and I got it backwards. You have the honeycomb borders on the edge. I'm guessing, Jim, that you were saying that the pouch products all still have this. I'll have to get back to your comment on that. Sorry, I did not look at it before I started recording here. So, it says Classic Wintergreen and pouches. Now, these are not the flavor flow, so the word pouches is a little bit more pronounced. For reference, all right, the extra has the extra in white lettering after the Wintergreen. The Wintergreen itself is not as easy to see as it is with the classic Wintergreen. But really, it's the background colors. This has a much lighter green going on in the center, at least. Now, I want to check real quick. Now, the bronzing of Skoal and the rims are basically the same. It's just the lighting here. But as you can see, Classic Wintergreen is much more prominent than the Wintergreen on the extra product, although the extra is very prominent in white. So that's probably the easiest way besides the background colors. Other slight difference is on the classic product here, the word pouches is a lot easier to see due to the background color. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. Going around to the side banding on this, right off the bat, manufacturer's information and barcode. Okay, it is a product of the U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company of Nashville, Tennessee. All right, it is 100% U.S. tobacco. Then you have pouches and branding, 100% American tobacco, and stuff like sale only allowed in the United States, underage sale prohibited, and the fact that this is smokeless tobacco. And some more Skoal branding, pouches, and Wintergreen, the classic Wintergreen, that is. You have the Scrunch U.S. Smokeless label, and then we are back around to the barcode and manufacturer's information. On the back, you have the guaranteed fresh stamped can and a sell-by date, which is May 12th, 2019. Best I can see it there. Yes, May 12th, 2019. So, I am going to cut into this. Nice papery band. The band is fitting well to the can, though, so the seal's good. Easy to cut. It's amazing with, like, top-tier products, like, or maybe it's not the top-tier products that's amazing. It's amazing with bottom-tier products that they can't even get simple stuff like banding right. Like, you can't get through their bands. You're fighting to get into the product, you know. Okay, so we got a very moist product with white bag with natural staining. There are dark portions to the bag where the wet tobacco inside the bag, or the pouch rather, is coming in direct contact with the pouch material. Pretty moist. I'll feel it on my lip. Yeah. Should be 15 in there. Pretty solid wintergreen smell. It's not registering as sweet like the extra product was. So I'm going to take a couple, and then, you know what, I'm going to have to fluff these up a little bit, I think, because they're pretty compacted. So they are very moist. I am going to hit the pause button. Yeah, they're very moist. And I will be back in a moment. And I am back. Okay, you know what? I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I'm actually sort of okay with the Skoal Classic Wintergreen. There is not as much flavor. So, but there's very little burn, which is probably why my non-wintergreen dipping likes it. There's flavor there. It's obviously wintergreen. It's not as sweet as the extra, and it is sort of a little darker. Like there's more of a tobacco presence. But having looked at both of these products side by side, it is my opinion that although there is the same amount of tobacco in both pouches, the pouch of the extra is slightly bigger, okay? So there is more room for the tobacco to move around inside the pouch. And the gauge of the pouch material, I don't want to say it's the pouch material's thinner, but the weave of it, if you want to call it a weave, I'm not sure, you know, the terminology here, you're going to have to excuse me. It's a looser weave. Like imagining it as a net, and a regular pouch, microscopic, the netting's like this. On the extra product, it's like this, if that makes any sense. There is a visual difference. The tobacco in the regular classic wintergreen looks like it completely fills the pouch. The tobacco in the extra looks, the pouches are all crinkled up because they have more room to move. I will show you. I don't know how well it will register. So this is the regular, the classic, okay? See how this pouch is right here? It's the tobacco inside the pouch is pretty tight, okay? This is the wintergreen. See how the pouches are sort of more crinkled up? They're not as uniform. It's because they can bend around more, and one just bent around right out of the can onto my desk. Okay, but maybe that's a good one to show. Do you see how it's bent up and crinkled? The pouch, because the tobacco is not so tight inside, has more, it can move around. The pouch can bend more. Whereas these over here, the tobacco is pretty tight inside the pouch. Also, you can see it almost looks like over here, the tobacco tight against the pouch material is more uniform, where over here you get darker spots and lighter spots. To my lip, both products are basically the same moisture level. Okay, so it's not that they've really kicked up the moisture too much higher in the extra product than the regular. The pouch, the Flavor Flow pouches are, I believe, different pouches. I was sort of waiting originally for a visual difference. There's not much of a, like, all the seams and whatnot on the pouch are the same. But the pouches look looser with the tobacco inside because I think they're just slightly bigger. The pouch material itself is slightly bigger on the extra product. In the classic, which this review's about, so I don't mean to be confusing anyone, I think the pouch itself is slightly smaller. Same amount of tobacco in both products, but with a tighter pouch. And with a thicker pouch, you might need that. So all of the tobacco makes full contact with the pouch itself. Flavor release-wise, the extra is, it's got to be, there's a noticeable difference. As far as the classic, it's an all right wintergreen. There was very little sting. Now, I pushed it around the side for the sake of talking, but very little sting, and I'm good with that. I don't like the whole wintergreen burn aspect, as I've said repeatedly over and over again. There is more of a tobacco undertone, definitely. This is not as candy-like as the extra. There is a definite tobacco, but some people like that, and in theory, that even sounds like a good idea to me. But for whatever reason, I did personally prefer the extra. But this, it's more along the lines of the Grizzly Wintergreen, and maybe even more so the dark. It's not bad though. It's really not bad. Maybe at this point, maybe I'm getting used to wintergreen. I don't know. As I said, I don't see the need. I don't have a lot of situations where I need pouches, and if I do, I usually go with snus or the Skoal snus, whichever way you want to pronounce that. Because if I want to cut down on mess, then I'm going all the way. There's no half measures. I'm going all the way. I'm going pouched and spitless. That's just me. It just makes sense to me. That said, you can't get Skoal snus in that pouch because Skoal snus is, it's about, the pouch is about as big as this. You can't get it in wintergreen. So, I mean, if you're dead set on wintergreen in a pouch size this size, you're going to have to go with the real deal. So, all in all, quality packaging, can and lid, looks pretty good. It looks just very classic. Flavors there, nicotine's there. I'll leave this in while I'm uploading the video. I'm sure it's not it's not, Kodiak wintergreen by any means, but it's there. Flavor's good. It's juicing up all right, but the Flavor Flow pouches, it's official. I think they do make a difference. Very little burn. Pouches are comfortable. They're different, and the tobacco fits in them differently, but they're still comfortable. I haven't really run into a pouch yet that has been uncomfortable per se. And then that's about it. That really is about it. This has been the review of Skoal Classic Wintergreen. It's all right. Pleasant surprise for me, at least. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy. Do check out Berg's Dip Reviews, Winnington Outdoors, which is, I think he's put up something like 14 videos in the last 48 hours, maybe less, 36. Dirty Pat Walsh always has something music going on. If you're into game type stuff, there is Real Talk Studios. And if you speak German and want to know about snus, then the man to go to would be snusfreak.com. Dip review wise, you can always check out Wayside Lee 83. And I think that covers about all my guys. I do want to say hello and thank you. I have a couple that popped up in comment sections and a couple that I got notification for. So notifications are, Aiden Anderson, hello and thank you. And Dan Johnson, that just came in about an hour or two ago. Hello, sir, and thank you. People that have popped up in comment threads. Oh, my goodness, we're over 15 minutes. Okay, St. Anthony, Jeffrey Jimenez, Sosa Wayne 01, Sebastian Gatsk, and I think that's it. All of you, thank you. All right, I do hope everyone is well. Do take care of yourselves, and God bless.